Hey guys, it's your girl Justyn. Welcome back to my channel. Guys, today is September 19th, 2024, which means it's your girl's birthday. And today your girl is turning 29 years of age. And I figured, literally this came to me last night, I was like, why don't I do a video of 29 lessons that I've learned throughout the last 29 years? So hence, this is why we're here. Some of these are like simple, obvious things, and some are a little bit more deep. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Number one, I am exactly where I need to be. I know it's cliche, age is nothing but a number, but truly, it really just is a number. I remember feeling like I was always behind in life, looking at classmates. It seemed like every single time I would log into Facebook, somebody else was buying a house, getting married, having babies, just doing all these quote unquote life things. And it can definitely like weigh on you that you're like behind in life. But I don't know, now I just have like confidence in knowing where I'm at right now is exactly where I need to be. Number two, it is totally 100% okay to excuse yourself. Now, this could be in like serious situations, like, hey, if this relationship is no longer serving you, you can excuse yourself. If you're like in a situation, like if you're in an event and it just is not like the vibes aren't vibing, deuces boo, you can go, okay? And I'm very good at doing that. If I'm ever somewhere where it just feels like I'm either not wanted or not valued, or if for whatever reason the vibes aren't vibing, I will leave. Number three, and this is a recent thing, but I do have time. Y'all, I am so like, or I have been very good at saying, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. And now I'm realizing like, you know what? I actually do have time. Like for example, I would think like, oh, I don't have time to like cook my own meals. Like that's gonna take so long, and then the dishes, or like I don't have time to read my Bible, or just whatever. Just I would make all these excuses for things that I didn't have time to do. But yet I did have time to spend like 9 hours scrolling on my phone somehow. How was my daily average like 9 hours on my phone? So clearly I have time. I just have a difficult time prioritizing it on the right thing. Number four, comparison truly is the thief of joy. Now I know this is something that everybody says, but honestly, whenever like people in my inner circle are around me, like when my friends are like getting blessed, or like when something happens to like a family member of mine, like good things, I don't get jealous, because I'm just like, you know what, that means God is on my street. Mine must just be like around the corner or something. Like mine is just still in processing. Like when I see other people like good things happening for them, instead of me like being like, oh, but that's not happening for me, I'm just like, oh well, good for them, mine must be on the way. It's out there somewhere, it's coming in due time. Number five, not everything needs to be done in baby steps. Sometimes it is as simple as like you just need to rip the band-aid off. Like it's just time, okay? For example, all week this week I've been waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and going to the gym. Now what time was I waking up before then? Like almost 8 a.m. So that was like a 3-hour jump that I just took one night. Like literally Sunday night, I was like, you know what? I need to go to the gym in the morning. And I just decided I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. the next morning. And I've been doing it. So I know in some cases, like it is good to like baby step your way into habits. But sometimes I think it is just as simple as like deciding I'm gonna do this and just doing it. Number six, this one is kind of more of a specific lesson, but y'all, this past summer, my electricity bill was ridiculously high. And I started doing this thing where I was like, okay, instead of me waiting until whenever it's due and just paying this huge lump sum, I'm gonna start paying it weekly. So literally every single Friday, because I get paid weekly, every Friday I take whatever the bill amount is divided by 4, and I just pay that weekly. And it is just so much better for me. I know technically it's the same amount, but it's a lot easier to part with like $50 out of your paycheck versus like $200 all at once. Number seven, it is okay, it is perfectly okay to not be everybody's cup of tea. Literally, not everybody's gonna like you, not everybody's gonna vibe with you. That is totally fine. Number eight, okay, so y'all know that thing that people say when they're like, girl, I'm not here for a long time, I'm here for a fun time. Well, it's kind of that, but it's like a little remix. So I am not here for a long time, I'm here for a purposeful time. I know the other one sounds a lot cooler, but hear me out. Y'all, something that God has been really like helping me understand a lot in the last couple of months is that literally this life is so temporary. Heaven is my home. This is not my home. I mean, this is my home. This is what I'm stewarding while I'm here, and I'm so thankful for it. But y'all, if this is the life that we're gonna live on this earth, but the whole rest of this room is eternity, like why are we focusing so hard on like this little bit of life? And I mean, I get it, we get it, because this is all we can see right now. But truly, I just have this newfound respect and I guess perspective that heaven is my citizenship. That is where I belong. So as of right now, while I'm here, I'm just recruiting, I'm just stewarding the things that God has given me to the best of my ability. But I don't know, somehow, because now I have that perspective that heaven is my home, it just kind of makes a lot of like life's problems here smaller. Number 9, do not judge a book by its cover. Some of my greatest blessings have come in very interesting packages or people or things that I honestly would have never assumed. Number 10, it is better to be alone than to settle. Need I say more? Number 11, in order to have friends, you must first be friendly. Now this one is so interesting because I actually did not know this was in the Bible until I looked it up. But I mean, it makes perfectly good sense. Like you can't be out here expecting to have friends and expecting, you know, relationships with people when you're not really being that for other people. Y'all know I've talked about this quite a bit on my channel that ever since being saved, God has brought so many people into my life and I'm so thankful for that. Before I was saved, I went through about like a 10-year period in between graduating high school and me getting saved, where I just did not have friends. I had a few like acquaintances here and there, like some coworkers who I got close to, but not like true like friends, like people I could vent to and talk to and like just do life with. And I wouldn't say that it was, well, it was for a lot of different reasons, but as far as like with this verse, it's Proverbs 18:24, by the way. I wouldn't say that I was necessarily being unfriendly, but what I was doing is, y'all, I was the queen of saying no. I was the queen of being like, people would invite me places and I would either flat out say no, or I would say yes with all intentions on I'm not going to that, and either flake or cancel or just whatever. And like now it makes perfectly good sense, because why would I expect people to continue to invite me to things if I'm not showing up for things whenever they do invite me? Number 12, never forget to say thank you. Now, to be quite honest, and this is not to toot my own horn, but I personally don't think that this is something that I've had to struggle with, but I do know, I've noticed that this is something that is not as common sense as you would think, because I've just noticed that a lot of people just do not say thank you, like just simple gratitude. And because I noticed how people don't say thank you and I know how it makes me feel, I try like even more, like I was already gonna say thank you, but like I just want people to make sure that they know like, hey, I see you, I appreciate you, thank you for what you're doing. And I'm not even talking about like big things. It could be something just super small or like anything, like just people like to be seen and appreciated and thanked. That's it. Number 13, y'all, this was kind of a hard one and I almost didn't put it in here, but we're gonna discuss, okay? Be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of didn't want to put this in here because this is something that I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with, because personally I feel like in a lot of situations I'm usually the person who people are venting to, who are safe to talk to, who have no problem like spilling everything on me, and like I take it, it's totally fine. I don't mind being that for people, but it's usually, well, not usually, okay, thankfully I have people in my life who it is reciprocated, but in a lot of cases it's not. And something I always say is like like I hate when people are talking at me versus talking to me, because there is a difference. I feel like when you're talking to someone, it's a dialogue, like you let someone talk, they talk, whatever. But in a lot of circumstances, I feel like people just talk at me, where they're just talking, and anytime I finally will say something, it's not even a few seconds before they either cut me off or turn it around and make it about themselves. So this has been like a love-hate relationship that I've had with this, but I saw this quote once that we should be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody, and it kind of just changed my perspective of it. And I was like, you know what, even though in a lot of circumstances I don't like that conversations don't really feel balanced, I take it as, you know what, maybe that person doesn't have anyone else in their life to actually sit and like just listen and not interrupt them. Because I'm the type, I am not going to fight for the right to speak. You got about 1-2 times to interrupt me or to turn it back to you, and I'm just going to let you have it. Like, I'm just going to let you go for it, and I'm just going to sit there and listen and take it, and it's totally fine. Like, I'm used to that. But I don't know, I just kind of like changed my perspective, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's like a compliment in a way, that there are people who are like, you know what, even if everybody else doesn't listen, I know Justyn will listen. So I don't know if any of that makes sense, but yeah. Number 14, everybody can't come into the next chapter with you. Guys, some people are just here for a season, and that's okay. And I know that that's very hard because we get attached to people and we want, you know, we want to see everybody come up. But we are all moving at different paces, different levels, going different places. So like logically, it doesn't make sense that everybody, like, you're not gonna have the same group that you started out with like in 10 years, and that is totally okay. Number 15, it is so okay not to have it all together. Y'all know, if y'all watched some of my recent videos, but one of the most, in my opinion, annoying comments that I would get is like people telling me, Justyn, you need to give yourself grace. Like, why are you being so hard on yourself? I used to hate when people would tell me to do that, but I see where they're coming from. Because y'all, I used to be so hard on myself. Not saying that I'm not now, but I have definitely grown in that area. I know I'm 29 years old, but like I said, age is perspective. To some people, that's, oh my gosh, you were so old. But to some people, I'm just a baby. It is okay to not have life together and figured out. It's totally fine. Number 16, if we look for flaws, we will find them. So a couple of months ago, I actually came to this revelation, if you will, that because of the way I had been brought up and just people I had spent a lot of time with, and those people happened to be pretty critical people, either critical of themselves, of me, of others, of just constantly criticizing things. I realized, I like had this moment and I was like, wow, no wonder why I am the way I am. Like, no wonder why I am so hypercritical of myself when this is how I was raised. I just had like a very pivotal moment, and once I came to that conclusion, I felt like I had a decision, and it was like, okay, I can either take this information and continue on being how I've been being hypercritical, trying to be some perfectionist, or I can let it go. And in that moment, I decided to let it go. And that's actually when I returned back to YouTube and started posting more. Because the reason I was taking all those breaks and like not posting a lot is because, y'all, I would have so many video ideas and just things that I wanted to do. But I would have this vision, and if I could not execute 100% to the T that vision, I would not want to do it anymore. And it's okay to strive for greatness and like strive to like improve. But when you are so like, when you're being such a perfectionist that it would halt me, instead of like me trying something and then learning and moving forward, I would just stay where I was at because I wouldn't want to produce anything that wasn't what in my opinion was perfect. So now I've just chosen to let that go. Y'all, we are fallen people living in a fallen world. We are bound for imperfection and mistakes, and just things are gonna happen. And honestly, low-key, like, that's kind of what makes us beautiful, is our imperfections. If we were all perfect, would there be a perfect, you know? So now I choose to see everything. I choose to like see the beauty in the mistakes, but also just look at it like, you know what? Okay, now I know what to do next time. Like, instead of just getting like so like defeated and like, oh, I don't want to even try again, I'm like, okay, now I know I won't do that, or I will do this, X, Y, and Z. Number 17, you do not have to be controlled by your own thoughts or your emotions. Y'all, this was a big one for me. Literally, I'm gonna give y'all a Bible, 2 Corinthians 10:15. It says to take every thought captive. Once I really like figured out how to do this and like had practice with it, complete game changer. I always say this, but if I give my mind an inch, it will take a mile. Like, my mind, I am a chief queen overthinker, and I can get fixated on something, and if it's the wrong thing, if it's a negative thought or just a thought that I shouldn't be having, I can literally think about it over and over and go deeper and deeper just in my own head and just create these like almost false realities because I'm like, I don't know, meditating on the wrong thought. And now I've learned I have authority over my own thoughts, which sounds weird because like I am my thoughts, but I don't know, it has just been like so transformative. And then also as far as our emotions, y'all, the Bible says flat out not to follow your own heart, which is so anti-world, counter-cultural. The world would love to tell you, trust your gut, follow your heart, believe in yourself. The Bible says nope, 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 follow Jesus. It says the heart is deceitful above all things, or wicked above all things. I'm still working on that memorization, but it don't say good things about the heart. So yeah, now there's nothing wrong with having feelings. God created them for a reason, but our actions and just what we like meditate on, it just should not revolve around our feelings, because our feelings are finicky, very finicky. I rather trust in God than my own thoughts. Number 18, good things take time. I remember I was watching, I don't know if it was a sermon or like Instagram, a TikTok video, something, and it was talking about how like something along the lines of, let's imagine like we're getting a cake made and we're like rushing the baker to like hurry up and make this cake, and then when the cake comes out, it's like all like gooey and half baked and just not good. Then like we're gonna get mad at the baker and be like, why would I want this? And he gonna be like, well, boo-boo, you were rushing me. Clearly you wanted it, you didn't want to wait on it. So I would so much rather wait patiently for what God has for me rather than rushing into something that is half done, half figured out, just half everything, or even partial. It's just better to be patient. Number 19, if you lower your expectations on people, you will also lower your disappointments. Now, I don't know if this is like one that I should really include in this list and be proud of, but hey, it works for me. Literally, I have gotten very good at setting my expectations very low, just because I would rather be excited when something fun or when someone does something like cool. I would rather like be excited versus putting expectations on people that they did not agree to and then being disappointed whenever they don't follow through with them, you know? Number 19, if you happen to accidentally start a fire in your microwave or your oven, instead of trying to put it out with water, you should just shut the door. Lesson 21. Take whoever you are idolizing, take them off of the pedestal you have put them on, and just know that things are not always what they seem. I can guarantee you, as someone who like does content creation and who's been doing it for a while, things are not always what they seem. People post highlight reels, they post the best of the best. And if you knew what some of your favorite celebrities or influencers or even people off of social media, the popular girl in your school or that girl at work or that girl in your church that you're for whatever reason envious of them or of something in their life, if you had a full picture of what was going on behind the scenes, what they're not posting or sharing, you would probably be a lot more content just with what you've got going on. Lesson number 22, focus more on what you have versus what you were lacking. Guys, literally, if we only knew, some of the problems that we're facing today literally are somebody else's prayers. Like somebody else wishes they had the problems that we have. I know it is so easy to just take the things in this life for granted, but there is so much to be thankful for. Literally, between last night and today, I asked God and I'm like, God, are you tired of me saying thank you? Because honestly, y'all know that song that's like, so I throw up my hands and praise you again and again. because all that I have is a hallelujah. I feel like sometimes all I have is a thank you, God. Like I don't have anything else but to say thank you, because I just have so much. Literally, when I woke up this morning, I had 67 cents in my bank account, but I'm like, I have a roof over my head, I have a car that works, I have a job, family that loves me, friends, I have clothes on my back, I have food in the refrigerator. Like that's just the surface level. There is so much to be thankful for. And bonus tip, if you didn't know, it has been proven that anxiety and gratitude cannot coexist at the same time. So the next time you're feeling anxious, just take a second to stop, breathe, and look around. Just find like 5 things that you're grateful for. And I guarantee you, while you're doing that, you are not gonna still be feeling anxious. And if you're still feeling anxious, just keep finding things to be grateful for. I promise you, if you really just sit there, you could probably find at least 100 things to be grateful for. Lesson number 23, the longer you entertain what is not for you, the longer you are also delaying what is. Lesson number 24, no person or situation is too far gone or complicated or messy for God to figure out. Anytime I'm either in a situation or I hear of a situation that is just so like beyond me and bizarre, just whatever, I feel like one of the first things the Holy Spirit reminds me of is Isaiah 66:1, where it talks about how the earth is God's footstool. Literally, if you think about that, the earth being God's footstool, do y'all know how big the earth is? We are talking about a big God. Like this big God. Big God, okay? And honestly, I just want to like encourage someone. I had this realization this morning. I was like, I'm 29 today. Literally 3 years ago when I was 26, I was this close to no longer being here, to like checking out. And so the fact that I am here, nobody is too far gone. No situation is too far complicated or big or messy or just whatever in order for God not to come in and fix it. Y'all, please take it from me. Nothing about your situation is a surprise to God, and nothing is too crazy or too annoying. Like He can fix everything. Number 25, you cannot make everyone happy, so you might as well just be yourself. I've definitely learned this on YouTube because I've had experience with catering to one kind of audience, but then also trying to cater to the other one. And while you're doing this one is mad, but while you're doing this one is mad. And literally it's like that, like just in life. So it's just better to like be yourself, because you are never gonna be like I said earlier, you're never gonna be everybody's cup of tea, and that is okay. Number 26, adulting is ghetto. It is ghetto out here. Y'all, they got me out here paying bills. In case there are any young people, any minors who are watching me, please listen to me careful. Enjoy your youth. Enjoy your childhood. Because as much as you just want to be grown, it is ghetto. It's so ghetto. Enjoy living at your parents' home rent-free. Enjoy not having bills. Enjoy having health insurance before the age of 26. I can't relate. Number 27, y'all, this is a big one for me, especially as of recently. But you can completely change the trajectory of your life, and not only your life, but the lives coming after you, the generation, the seeds that are gonna come out of you. I've heard this scenario, if you will, so many times from so many different people, where depending on how that person was brought up or grew up, or the people they were around, or the behavior they saw as they were, you know, a child growing up, they had to eventually make a decision, and they end up as one of 2 different things. The first thing is they become an exact product of their environment. Nothing changes. They become exactly like the people that they were around, and it is what it is. Or they usually end up becoming the exact opposite. They make a conscious decision that, you know what, I'm gonna be nothing like so-and-so, or I'm gonna be nothing like this, and that is totally okay. And the big lesson here is that just because you didn't see something growing up, or you didn't see a certain thing displayed, that's not like a reason for you not to become something. Now, y'all know that I am a Christian, so when I say this, I'm also like, I'm aligning it with the word of God. I don't believe in like name it and claim it. I'm not saying like, you know, I ain't never seen nobody be a bajillionaire, so I'm gonna become a bajillionaire just because I said so. That is not what I'm saying. But if there are certain values or morals or just like whatever that you maybe didn't have like in your own childhood, you can completely change the trajectory of your life moving forward, as well as like your children's life. It literally only takes one person's yes to change an entire generation. If that ain't a word, that wasn't even on my notes, but that's a whole word right there. That could preach on its own. Number 28, you are not who people say you are, and you are not even who you say you are. The only person that defines you, the only person who identifies you, is God. It's the creator. One thing my pastor always says is that creation cannot define the creation. Like, the creator who made the creation is what defines the creation. And ooh, my battery is dying. My friend is outside. I am having to hurry up here. This is the fastest video I've ever filmed. Lesson number 29, last but not least. Y'all should have known this was coming. Life is so much better with Jesus than without him. And hold up before you click off of this video, because I know y'all are so tired of me talking about Jesus. Literally ever since I've talked about Jesus on my channel, my engagement and comments and followers just have been going down in the toilet, but that's totally fine, because I'm not gonna stop talking about this man. Literally, I was in the trenches. Sorry, I'm talking really fast, but my camera's dying. I was in the trenches and I did a lot of things. I tried a lot of things. I called on a lot of people, and it was only Jesus Christ that saved me and pulled me up out. And now I have a completely different life. Everything is just a complete 180, and I am so thankful, and life is so much better with him than without him. So there you go, guys. That is 29 lessons that I have learned in my 29 years of life. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, let me know down below in the comments, what is a lesson that you have learned in your X amount of years? And unfortunately, I don't have time to do the secret special emoji, but I'm gonna just shout out one person real quick. Boom, this person. Shout out to you. And for today's super special secret emoji, let's do the birthday cake emoji. So comment that down below and you will possibly be shout out in the very next video. All right, guys, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.